It is not just the powers that shouldn't be who think you're stupid. It's also the gatekeepers. And I'm going to springboard off of the segment I did yesterday. This is Alex Jones doubling down, actually saying that through the suppression and control of the elusive Epstein documents, Trump has taken control of the deep state blackmail files so that instead of Obama, the globalists, the Rothschilds, MI6, and Mossad being in control of it, Trump's people are. Take it away, Alex Jones.
So we got big issues, folks, and Trump's trying to stop all these wars, and that's great. But when I see an unmitigated fiasco, I said to myself, you heard me on air, well, I just war gamed it. And I said, I hope I'm wrong. But I said, if we get a statement from him supporting this, that means that this is his orders and that they have taken control of the deep state blackmail file so that instead of Obama and the globalists and the Rothschilds and MI6 and Mossad being in control of it, Trump's people are. But then you look at that and there's Israelis swarming all around. So and then people say, well, maybe Israel's blackmailing Trump with information. That's what Elon is saying, is that no, Trump is in the files. That would have come out before.
This is Alex Jones trying to play both sides. Remember, he used to speak out against the left versus right paradigm lie, and now he's speaking on behalf of one side because he realizes how lucrative it can be. And now he's got this, because he was with Elon and Trump, and now Elon and Trump have split in this WWE style dog and pony show going on. Now he doesn't know exactly where to pivot. So he's just pulling rabbits out of hats.
When they were trying to stop him before.
It gets worse. Just stay tuned.
They're clearly coming after it. And I've never seen one piece of evidence to that. No, this all points towards bare minimum. Trump believes, and it's probably true, that if it comes out a bunch of head bankers and politicians and leaders and business leaders are in this, which we know they were, that will crash the stock market. That will just destroy America's image in the world. And so it's so horrible that they made the decision not to bring it out.
We can't bring out the Epstein blackmail files because if we do, the stock market will crash. The image of America will be marred throughout the world. The economy will collapse. We can't bring out the Epstein blackmail files. We have to cover up the pedo ring. And now the gatekeepers of this whole Disney-styled facade are covering up for the cover-up.
I'm not endorsing that. That's the thinking here. And now with Trump endorsing what the FBI just did with this ridiculous memo, that's what it is. And you heard Judge Joe Brown's very smart.
I'm not endorsing this, but that is what it is. It is Trump who's in control. He has put the bullets in the chamber of the gun that he placed up against the deep state's head. And now Donald Trump and his people have all the cards. They have all the control. Well, if that's true, then shouldn't we see something? Shouldn't we see the little slack being cut for the American people? No more. I'm in total control now, says Donald Trump. I have the House. I have the Senate. I have the judiciary. I have the president's seat at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. No more income tax. No more IRS. I'm in total control. Really? So he's saying he's in 100% control even over the Rothschilds and Mossad and MI6. Really? He has that much control and he's not doing anything for the American people except for the massively expensive, big, beautiful bill?
He agreed with me yesterday and said he thinks that's what's going on. But he thinks Trump later is going to bring it out. I don't know. But I'm not an apologist for any of this. I'm simply wargaming the different angles. And so the corporate media and others take clips out of context.
So there's his plausible deniability. Now here's his interview with Judge Joe Brown. Check this out.
Trump has taken control. He didn't do it. They're shutting it down from everything I've seen. he is taking control of the FBI CIA blackmail file, and now I suddenly see this deep state more and more rolling over. People say, well, that's very immoral to do. The argument would be it's too damaging to bring this act and bring down the whole government. I'm not endorsing that, but the best approximation I've got.
It's too dangerous to bring down the whole federal government. It's like a doctor saying it's too dangerous to remove the cancer. We have to let the cancer thrive inside the body because that's the best chance of survival for the body. You can't remove the cancer. Can't even minimize the cancer. You got to keep the cancer there. Cancer is very vital to keep the economy from crashing, to keep the stock market from going underwater, to keep America and her image as a beacon that sets up on a hill.
Is they get the files, they raid the FBI. The FBI raids the FBI 5 months ago. When they hid the files in New York, they make the guy resign that was covering it up, and Comey's daughter's still there. They then load the gun, cock the gun, point at the deep state's head, and now suddenly the NATO, everybody's kissing Trump's butt, and it looks like Trump is now in control of the file, and obviously they're not going to read in the FBI. It's the CIA and Ratcliffe doing it. The best approximation I've got, and it is speculation, but I got a lot of points, is that Trump has decided to just use the file against them. What do you think, Judge?
I think you're right on point with that. I think a great deal of what happened with Smith and Millargo when the FBI raided it some years ago, and this thing that clearly they had no standing to go against about him supposedly having classified confidential documents when, as we have discussed, the President of the United States under the Constitution as chief diplomat and commander-in-chief has been held to have absolutely unquestionable authority as to what he declares either confidential and secret or decides to declare is not such.
Think about what Amschel Rothschild said. Give me control over the nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws. Why don't you care, Amschel, about a senator or a congressman or a president converging together and making the laws? Because I own all of their money, which means I own the time and the labor of every human being in this country. There's no greater power than that. Owning the wealth of 330 something million people in America, that is true power. So Joe Brown and Alex Jones are saying that Donald Trump is the one in total control. He's the one who has his finger on the trigger of the gun that is pointed at the head of the deep state. They got to roll over for him. And the best that Donald Trump can do is the big, beautiful bill. That doesn't make sense.
So
Seems like you would do bigger things if you had your hands firmly on the levers of all that power.
my sneaking suspicion is that a lot of what he refused to turn over to the archivist, which was unconstitutional in terms of what it was trying to put in place through statutory override of constitutional authority, which is wrong, is that there was wrongdoing that if he turned it over to the archivist was going to be turned over to the people who were recorded doing wrong, and they would destroy it. So we had an obligation to the people to maintain control of that, which he did. And I see absolutely nothing wrong with it. And it's been dropped. It's dead. It's not there, but he knows that. And I have a sneaking suspicion that when the investigations are completed and they're solid, we're going to start seeing something come out of it.
No matter how paranoid or conspiracy minded you might be, the evil that the government is involved in is greater than you can possibly imagine. And the gatekeepers will always cover up the truth so that the lie is never exposed. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video. This is freaking crazy.